Are you ready for the unexpected? When disaster strikes, having a reliable food supply is crucial. In today's video, I'll be going over a few of these items to help build your long-term food storage so you're ready for any SHTF situation. Let's go ahead and dive into it. In front of me here on the table, I'm going to have four key items that, generally speaking, are the most common ways people prepare in a food storage stockpile. So in front of me here are going to be simple cans you buy at a grocery store. Everybody knows what these cans are: Campbell's soup, like chicken noodle soup and such. Moving on, we have number 10 cans, and inside of the number 10 cans are usually going to be one specific item within these cans. These two totes here are going to have different supplies within them. This one has a calorie count of 21,000, I do believe, and 92 servings within this tote. And you're going to have individual meals you can stockpile, like Mountain House. These are great for bug out bags or anything like that. I don't really recommend stockpiling a bunch of these unless you're using them for a specific plan, like in a small tote in case you guys have to bug out. So now let's go ahead and take a closer look into these number 10 cans. All right, guys, so these are going to be the number 10 cans. I don't want to bore you guys too much with this video, so I'm going to be real short with this. So with number 10 cans, you're able to have, generally speaking, a high serving count. So this one has 60, 32, and 38 servings within them. Another pro is you're able to actually take how much you want out of these, so you don't have to use the whole can. If you want to make one little serving of something, you're able to do that and just wrap everything back up and store it again. These things are really able to be stored. They stack on top of each other like so. I have a bunch of these in my closet, and they're just stacked up like this. So that's another good feature that number 10 cans allow you to do. The shelf life on number 10 cans, it really depends on what is inside the number 10 can. Like this one has a 5-year shelf life, a 10-year shelf life, and all the way up to a 25-year shelf life. Now, some of the cons for number 10 can is they're not really going to be bug out friendly like some of your others, like the individual meals or the little totes that have pre-wrapped meals with inside of them. Now, you can make these bug out friendly by buying a small little tote and putting a couple of these in there, but then it's starting to get a little bit heavy. So why is food storage so important? Well, most preppers are focused on gear and equipment. They should be focused on food storage along with water storage. The daily requirement for calories in a survival situation is 1,800 calories. Now, that's not playing in factor of your age, along with how much activity you're doing on a daily basis. Another reason is going to be supply chains. If the tractor trailers carrying those supplies of food and everything else stop, within 3 days, all the stores are going to be empty. Food can also be bartered. It is a bartering tool. Now, you want to be careful with food and bartering your items because you don't want to draw attention to yourself. Okay, now we got cans of food. Now, if you're just starting out prepping, cans of food are going to be a fantastic choice for you. And if you hear me out, I know there's going to be people in here that are longtime preppers and it's going to say it's a bad idea. But if you hear me out, I'll tell you why. So if you're just starting out, buy cans of food. And if they're cheap, relatively available, if you go to a store, just pick up a couple of cans of these and store them in your stockpile. What these cans allow you to do is later on down the road, when you are able to purchase higher end survival related items like food, what you can do with these cans are barter with them. These cans are going to be an amazing item to barter with in an SHTF event. Now, you don't want to make these your daily intake in a survival situation because they are highly sodium related content within these, and almost 2 cans of soup are going to be your daily intake of sodium, your recommended daily intake of sodium. So that's just an idea. Let it fester. Now let's go ahead and go over the shelf life of these items. Generally speaking, your number 10 cans, you're going to have anywhere from 5 years all the way up to 25 years on the shelf life. It just depends on the contents that's within these number 10 cans. Now, I just looked at the shelf life that is on this Mountain House meal, and it's actually hard to believe. So this Mountain House meal has a shelf life. The best buy date is April of 2054. And I picked this up, I think, 3 years ago. So that's a long time for these individual meals, and they'd be perfect for a bug out bag. And when you store all your items, guys, you want to keep them in a well-controlled environment. You don't want it to be hot and cold, just a steady temperature. I think it's recommended at 72 degrees, I believe, and you don't want any kind of humidity with storing your items. Now, normal cans of food, on the best by date, it's usually within a year, but these cans of food could last 5-10 years, as long as the can doesn't get damaged within these. And the same with these bucket guys. Normally they're about 10 to 25 years. So if you buy this stuff, don't think it's a waste of money. It's actually an investment, because I guarantee there's going to be a power outage and you're going to have food that's going to last, because the food in your fridge is going to go bad, but at least you have a little bit of food put back. Moving on to these individual meals, these make a wonderful bug out preparation, or if there's ever a small power outage or a local event, what this allows you to do is have a little bit of calorie intake without actually diving into your main preps. So these are nice to have at least a couple, maybe 10 to 15 meals in here, so you're able to get a little bit of calories without diving into your main stockpile. And they're relatively cheap. Now, these are going to be the survival buckets that I keep in my stockpile. This one's going to have 21,000 calories inside of here with 95 servings. There's 11 separate meals inside of this bucket, which is going to last me quite a while if it's just me within this bucket. And this one's going to be a week's worth of food right here. These ones are perfect for if you have to bug out in the vehicle. You can have 2 of these. You can throw them in your vehicle real fast, and you're going to have at least 2 weeks worth of food if you carry 2 of these. So these are perfect for that. Along with these buckets, you have the ability to actually stack them. So they're perfect for that if you live in an apartment complex or something like that, and you have storage restrictions. You're at least able to get, this probably half a month to a month worth of food just in these 2 boxes here. So that's another great reason why to carry these little buckets in your stockpile. Now, there is another method to stockpile an emergency food. I'm not really going to talk much on it because I don't do it. Frankly, don't have much experience with it, and it's going to be canning food. You're able to actually take food from, say, a garden or locally sourced meat that you killed, like a deer or anything. You're able to preserve that within canning. And generally speaking, canning food also lasts a long time. Now, you do have to be careful with canning, because if you don't do it right, or if a seal is broke, you can induce botulism into the food product itself. And botulism can make you very sick, or it can even lead to death. So guys, just be aware of that. And I hope you liked this video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned for more.